Hey everyone, welcome to our next installment of Multiplication by You. Just kidding, I don't know, that's not really what this is called, but it's another video on multiplication, I'll tell you that much. Today we're going to be talking about 3 by 1 multiplication using an area model. So we had been doing 2 by 2, and what that really means is the amount of digits that we're multiplying by to get there. So like a 2 by 2 would be like 26 times 19, right? That's 2 digits times 2 digits, a 2 by 2. Today, we're going to just go ahead and talk about the 3 by 1, which beats something like maybe like 329 times 7. Again, a 3-digit number times a 1-digit number. So that's really what we mean by 3 by 1. So we're going to be using 3 by 1 multiplication, and we're going to model this through the area model. So that's kind of the work that we're going to do today. So let's go ahead and dive in. 329 times 7. Let's take that over to the other page and get started. Our steps are no different than 2 by 2. Okay, so we are going to just go ahead and start off by using the expanded form. Okay, so we're going to expand our numbers out. So 329 is going to expand to 300 plus 20 plus 9, right? The hundreds place, tens place, the ones place. The greatest thing about this with 3 by 1, so on my second number, 7, it does not need to be expanded. It just stays a 7. So really our model will just look a little bit different. And again, why we do this is because it creates rows and a column for us to work with, or vice versa, depending on how you want to set up your model, doesn't really matter. Okay, so there we went ahead, we expanded 329 times 7 into 300 plus 20 plus 9 times 7, right? Because we don't have to expand that out. Then we're going to go ahead and then make our model. So we're going to make that area model, our rows and columns. So I have 3 rows. I have a row of 300. I have a row of 20, and I have a row of 9. And really, I'm just multiplying. I guess that doesn't have to be so big because I'm really multiplying that by a column of 7. So really, here's where my model looks a little bit different, right? Is that it's just one column that I'm multiplying by. So once we made our model, we are, of course, are going to multiply. So I'm going to take my row of 300, multiply that by 7. We take my row of 20, multiply it by a column of 7, and a row of 9 times a column of 7, and that's that. So let's go ahead and do that work. So 3 times 7 is 21. 1, 2 zeros, 1, 2 zeros, so that's 2,100. 2 times 4, or 2 times 7 is 14 and a 0, so it's 140. And then 9 times 7 is 63. Now we're just going to add those together to get our final product. So 2,100 plus 140 plus 63. So that's a 3, that's a 10, 1, 2, 3. So my final product is 2,303, which would make some sense if we want to think about reasonability, because if I thought about that quick reasonability estimation, this rounds to 300 times 7, that'd get me 2,100, 2,303. Those are pretty reasonable numbers. Okay, so again, these are the same steps. So there's really no need for us to be thinking about other things besides what our model is going to look like. That's really it, right? 3 by 1, the model just looks a little different. So let's do another one. Let's take 824 and let's multiply that by 6. Okay. All right, so this time I'm going to flip the rows and the columns just so, again, we can see that it doesn't really matter the order. It's really up to your preference of what you want our rows or columns to be. But of course, the first step is going to be the same in that I expand. So this is 800 plus 20 plus 4. And this stays as 6, right? Because it will not, I can't expand 6. It doesn't expand into other place values because it only has 1. All right, so then, like I said, I'm going to change this up. So I'm actually going to make these my columns this time when I draw my model. So I'm going to go 800. So what, we were like this, 24. Okay, and then I just have a row of 6. So now we're going to use that base 10 multiplication. That's why this is so great. I'm going to take my row of 6. I'm going to multiply it by this column of 800. I'm going to take this row of 6 and multiply it by the column of 20, and the row of 6 and multiply it by the column of 4. So 6 times 8 is 48. 2 zeros. 6 times 2 is 12 and 1 0. And then 6 times 4 is 24. So we're going to take these and add them together. Again, you notice all of my steps. I expanded. I built the model. I multiplied. Now we're going to add our 3 products together. So 4,800 plus 120 plus 24. 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. 8 plus 1 is 9, and 4. So 4,944. Gosh, is this reasonable? I should have checked that. So 824 times 6. So I'm going to round this to 800. 6 times 8 is 48. 2 zeros. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're good. We're golden. That sets out. Okay. So this is really what we're doing. This is really how we think about it. Expand, build your model, multiply, add your products together. So why don't I give you one to try? Again, this is one of those moments where I'm going to go ahead and encourage that you pause the video and solve this. And then we'll come back and we'll look at it together. So go ahead and take 647 times 8. Pause this video, go ahead and solve it, and then press play once you have an answer. So welcome back. Now you have an answer because you paused me. And now I'm coming back from pause land and you're listening to see how you did, which I bet you did amazing. All right, step 1, solving this problem, right? We're going to expand our numbers. Again, the cool thing with a 3 by 1 is I only have to expand one number. That's 647. So that expands to 600 plus 40 plus 7, excuse me. And then the 8 just stays as an 8, right? You do not expand single digit numbers. It doesn't work. Okay, so we've expanded. We're now going to make our model. So we're going to make those rows and those columns. So go like this. I'll use the first one as columns again. So 647. So there's 3 columns. And then I have a row of 8. And now let's go ahead and multiply. So a row of 8 times a column of 600, a row of 8 times a column of 40, and a row of 8 times a column of 7. So 8 times 6, that's 48, and then 2 zeros. Okay, and 8 times 4 is 32, and 1 0. And then 8 times 7 is 56. So we're going to add these together. Oh, man, sorry. This was multiply. I don't even like write down our steps as we're going to do it. Let's see. Let's add in blue. And now we're going to add. Okay, so I'm going to add these numbers. I guess we'll do it over here now. So 4,800 plus 320 plus 56. So 0 plus 0 plus 6 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7. Plus 0 is still 7. 8 plus 3 is 11. So we regroup. So we get 5,176. So double check that with your work and see how it goes. All right, so this is, again, how we can solve 3 by 1 digit multiplication problems using the same area model. Again, the only thing that's really changed is the number of rows or columns I might have. Keep this in mind and notice the trend, because soon we're going to be looking at 3 by 2 numbers, and then we're going to be looking at 3 by 3 numbers. So I would even encourage you to try a couple on your own and see, like, using this model, right? Same steps, different numbers, The only thing that's going to change is the way your model looks, but you're still going to expand, multiply, expand, make your model, multiply, then add up all of your products. As always, thanks for being here. Really appreciate the hard work that you're doing. Let's keep it up, and we'll see you soon.